What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful new year. I am just closing out some of my stuff. I'm going to switch over and share some things with you because we do have some updates here. I don't know if you guys have been keeping an eye on our GitHub, but we've been doing a ton of updates for the firmware stuff. And it's the new update to Marlin 2.1.2 for our baseline for the code for Unified 2. And that will be bringing input shaping. Now, I want to show you some test prints I did here, and I believe these are hardware related and not software related. So these were done on my Ender 7, and this one was done with, and they're all done with the same same G code if memory serves correctly. I think this one might have been done with Super Slicer. But these two here with the this is the cherries and berries spaghetti filament. So this is just a standard print with input shaping turned off. Auto bed leveling was on. And, you know, it came out as expected. So this is off the Ender 7 printer. And the printer's basically stock aside from the Dual Z upgrade kit and the Easy ABL added on. Now, with the default setting of a 40 Hertz compensation, we got this really weird result with the Benchy. And I suspect what's happening here is very, very minor step loss on the X and Y. And the problem I found was that normally I would turn the VREF up to give the motors a little more torque, but the drivers actually do not have any physical adjustment for the VREF. So I got to figure out how to adjust that. Maybe I noticed there's some dip switches on there. So maybe those are how to set it, but there's no documentation. They're Creality drivers. So I'm going to see if I can reprogram the TMCs over their SPI interface. So input shaping on certain printers, it looks like it's going to be, you might not be able to run it. But we have been running tests on our Easy Board V1 and V2, and they've been coming out as expected. So I think this is just something with the Creality driver. So you can see here, this was with the calibrated compensation, which I think was like a 41.2 Hertz compensation. And you see it was better. And to give you an idea, these were printed at 150 millimeters a second. So this one was printed at normal print speed of 80 millimeters a second, which came out good. This one was at same G code. I just sped it up like crazy to get around that 150 millimeter a second mark. And then this was actually sliced at 150 millimeters a second. So the print quality is good. It's doing its job. The thing is, just on this particular printer, it is having some step loss issues. So I'm looking into that. But this is going to be one of your mileage may vary type things. But we're not seeing the same thing on boards like our Easy boards. And I think that's because we have more control of the drivers, and we can, you know, take them in and out of spread cycle and stealth chop mode, but I'm still investigating on it. But the basic firmware itself, basically everything but input shaping, is looking really, really good right now. It's looking really stable. But I just got a kick out of this. I figured I'd show you guys how this is looking. I think this is just very, very little bits of step loss, and it's probably due to the printer itself. And like I said, I'm going to see if I can adjust the drivers in software. I'll have to hook a programmer up to them. So I'm going to figure that out, hopefully. If not, I might just replace the board. So yeah, it came out pretty good, but you can see there's some under extrusion here. This is still the stock hot end nozzle extruder PTFE tube. I have not upgraded anything on the hot end side of that printer. So, but we are going to start out today because it only took, today's what, the 4th, so it only took 4 days to get our first Karen of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and show this because I want to remind you guys to update your shipping addresses. So this guy ordered parts from us and used the PayPal, or not the PayPal, the Google Pay checkout, which does require you to confirm your address. I actually did pull that up. But he's trying to blame it on us, and so now he's doing what Karens do. They go and leave 1-star reviews and is trying to make it our problem. So, yay, congratulations, Sean. You are the Karen of the week today, and it's the brand new year. So, yeah, we don't have a way to change addresses after things ship, so make sure your stuff is correct. I know that Google Pay is kind of hard to update because I went through this myself, but then I went and updated my stuff. So, again, yeah, Sean, I'm sorry, dude. You sent us the wrong address and you didn't notify us in time before the order shipped. I don't even know if he did notify us that he had the wrong shipping address. But if you guys do place an order and have the wrong shipping address, send us an email immediately so we can put the order on hold and change it. We can do that. But yeah, so he's being a care about it, leaving us 1 star. So Sean, I'm not going to go ahead and send you out $100 something for the product because you were too dumb to make sure your shipping address was correct. So there you go. I need like a little animation, like Karen of the Week. So you can see here my reply. So there you go. This is all public. So Mr. Sean McAndrew, you are the Karen of the Week this week. So, all right. It's your fault I didn't check my address. Yeah. I wish I had a telepathic way to figure out where all the orders should go to. And the funny thing is I'm not even a Google Chrome user. So I actually installed Chrome back onto my computer and went to, like you can see here, here's my cart. And we can go ahead and hit Google Pay, GPay. And look at that. It's asking me to confirm my shipping address and everything. Would you look at that? It's amazing. But yeah. So, you know, our policy here is if we make a mistake on our end, we will gladly make it right. But people like this, where you guys, you know, he made the mistake himself, we're not going to go ahead and take a loss on that because they screwed something up. Like if we screw something up, we'll make it right. It's that simple. So, we're probably going to end up banning him, honestly, from the site, because if he's this is like his first order was like a little $20 order, and then he placed this one. If he's this big of a pain in the ass, you know, we'll see. So basically, if he's on thin ice, if he becomes really crappy with us in our tickets, he will be banned. It's in our terms of service that if you're going to go ahead and, you know, be an idiot and be rude because you screwed something up, then we're just not going to deal with you. So, and you can send your stuff back if you're within 30 days. So, is the video blurry? No, the preview is looking good. My internet, knock on wood, is behaving nicely today. Should be good. Yeah, so other stuff that's going to be coming to the new firmware update is if you guys had any issues where like the LCDs would be like kind of laggy while you're printing, especially over SD, I have spent some time tuning different variables on the back end of the firmware to make that better. So yeah, because like if you're printing over SD, sometimes you go to baby step and it would like take a second or two for the display to catch up. And I had to say something. OBS just said it reconnected. I swear to God, Comcast. Let me try lowering our bit rate here and see. I just got to make sure auto stop isn't enabled here. Can I change my output on the fly? I can. Let's see. Let me try putting it down to 4,000. Comcast was working all right today. I don't know why all of a sudden we're getting reconnect. So anyways, good thing we have a backup connection if it does decide to screw up. So let me just reset this so it drops down. Maybe it's not happy with it. All right, we should be reconnecting. I'm looking at our bit rate here. Our bit rate is sitting at the new setting. So hopefully that works. Why can't Comcast screw up on any other day but Wednesdays? It's like they just choose Wednesdays to have problems. So I should probably help. Let me put the chat bot up. I knew I forgot something. Hang on. I saw you guys putting questions in the chat, so don't put them yet. I gotta let the bot fire up. Hang on 1 second. That's why stuff isn't working. Give me just a minute here. And we will not have I don't think we have a giveaway form for this week. I got to get that from Krista. I know we made a new one for January. And I think we have to pull one for December, right? Did we? I can't remember. I'll have to look at the last stream. I think we did. My audio's cutting in and out. I think it's issues with the stream. So give me 1 second here. Yeah, I'm still seeing that the connection is bad. Hang on, I'm gonna have to fail this over to our backup. Let's see if we can use the backup. Of course, we got to start this year off with Karen's out of the gate and crappy service from Comcast. Go figure, right? I just got to make sure my modem's not going to turn back on automatically. I should really have an override in that for that in Home Assistant. All right, I'm going to turn my modem off, and we're going to see if we... Okay, now we're on the T-Mobile. How's the stream looking now? Anyways, anyone? I got to reconnect the bot. You know what's funny is it doesn't screw up when we're queuing up. It's only screwing up. It's only screwing up when we're actually streaming, which makes no sense because the stream is actually pushing full video and audio, but whatever. Yeah, the audio is not going to be on my end. The audio looks fine. Yeah, it's probably something on your phone or whatever you're watching on, Krista. So anyways, okay, we pull for December on the 28th. That's what I thought. Okay. All right, we're going to roll with this. The bot is going. I saw some questions, but the bot was not responding because of the connection issue. So go ahead and put the questions back in chat. If you guys put a question in, go ahead and put it back in so the bot can pick it up. And then we'll get going with the stream. I don't have too many other updates for you guys. Like I said, just what I showed with the Benchy earlier, that we are doing the testing on the input shaping. Like I said, everything but the input shaping is working correctly in the firmware at this time. So the bot is working. So, but I think input shaping is not working correctly on just that printer because of how the drivers are. They're just a weird setup. It's like this weird standalone driver. I think it's either a 25 or 2650 or a 2660 driver with a half bridge on each output. But I'm going to look into it and see, because if I can make a video being like, hey, if you're using the Ender 7, here's where you have to reprogram or change on the drivers to get them to play nice. So we do have our Winter Printerland contest. So let me pull up. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the files for that. I had them open, but I think I had to reboot. I had everything staged, but I think my computer restarted for updates. Thanks, Microsoft. Let's see. Shared folder, marketing, streaming, and the Printerland. So I have those up here. So we have, it looks like 7 total submissions, and I got their photos here. I'm just pulling up the form here so you guys can go ahead and vote on who you think is the best. Or maybe I should wait to post the voting until until I show the pictures. So let's do that. I'll show the pictures first, and then we'll go to do the voting. How's that? All right. So I'm going to switch back over to my main screen here. And the first picture is from B-Dog. Oh, man. Come on. Go over. So this is his little Santa's reindeer and sleigh. This is a cool print here. I see either he added glitter or he used glitter filament. I think he used glitter filament. I hope he used glitter filament because, dear God, I hate dealing with glitter. And that's a cute little print, something simple. I don't know why this is not moving to the next photo, but there we go. So this is B-Dog's submission here. Let me see what's going on here. I keep getting notifications from stuff. Oh, that's my backup system complaining because we switched over. So that's B-Dog, Santa Sleigh, and Reindeer. And then he's the very last entry on the form when I post that. So the next one is from Steven Smith, and he has printed presents here. Oh my God, Microsoft's image previewer is sucking right now. So these are actually pretty cool, and these look nice. So it looks like we got 2 different prints with a inlay where you like bond these up later. I like that. And then, oh my gosh, I'm trying to drag this over to this monitor and it's not cooperating. So anyways, here's the inside. So these are actually functional boxes to put presents in. And it looks like we got a 3D printed present inside of the 3D printed present. Yo, dog, I heard you like 3D printed presents. Peter Anderson has a puking rainbow gnome. Oh my God, Doug would love this. My brother Doug and his wife are obsessed with gnomes. I think that's funny. A little... He's got his hand up too. That's great. Like, hang on, I just need a minute. Like, I gotta purge out. Oh my God, that's actually pretty good. I like that a lot. Mike and a bottle of vodka. Okay, I guess those go together. All right, what's the next one? We got Michael Mearsman, and he's got a swirly tree topper. Microsoft Photo Viewer, I hate you so much. It will not let me drag it off. So that's a nice simple print. Little tree topper there. It looks like in like a bronze silk. That looks nice. I like that. It looks really similar to our statuesque silk bronze that we have. I don't know if he did an art filament or whatnot, but it's very close to that. We got Steven the Lightspeed with his gingerbread cult. Oh my god. So little flexy gingerbread guys. Oh my god. This is great. Oh my god. You have way too much time on your hands. Oh, that is fantastic. I'm assuming this is just a scaled up one. Oh my god. That's fantastic. I like those a lot. Is that like a glitter brown, or is it just how the light's hitting it? I can't tell. That looks like a glitter, almost like a glitter brown on some of these other ones. Yeah, I think it's a glitter. It looks like a glitter brown. But those are good prints. I like those, nice and clean. And then we've got two more. We got one from Kyle Fegley, and he's got a swirly mini Christmas tree. And there we go. Was this printed in vase mode, or was this have infill? This looks like something you could probably print in vase mode. That's a cute little print. Very basic. And then we've got Gabriel with his Star Wars themed Christmas ornaments. Do we got to say like Star Space or something so Disney doesn't sue me? Why is this doing this? Do you guys see what this is doing? Oh my god. Why are you not full screening? What is happening here? I usually have image glass on this computer for my photos, but I forgot to reinstall it when I went back to Windows 10. And now I get to deal with this. So, oh, this is like, is the base of the tree even printed too? Or is that just the stand? It looks almost like infill coming with the light coming through. I like this. This is really cute. A bunch of little tiny ornaments and stuff. I like that. Let's see. The topper, that's a nice print. That's nice and clean. Was that all one piece? I don't know if he's in here. Oh, we got spammers here. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and ban them. There we go. Bye-bye. And then let's see here. This looks like I don't know if this was a multicolor, like you did a layer change. I would say this is probably a layer change one, because you got the red, then the black, and then the silver. That's a nice little print. These are really good. And they're small, too. That's cute. The little stormtrooper angel there. Is he praying so he can actually hit something? I think he's going to need more than that. Let's see. Was that the Millennium Falcon? I'm not a Star Wars person, but I know enough. I think that's, what is that, the Millennium Falcon? Someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong. I know it. I know it. No idea what this is. I'm sure there's Star Wars nerds in the chat. I am more of the computer type of nerd and not the Star Wars nerd. Oh, look at, we even have the little nativity scene that's Star Wars themed. I like that. So, Comcast and T-Mobile, you guys are equally sucking today. So let's just do this. I might just reschedule the actual Ask Tim. We'll do the drawing here. I'm gonna go ahead and post the link here, and I'll save the questions here. So go ahead and vote there. That's the forum. So if you want to vote, we're going to go ahead and do first, second, and third place prizes, and we'll see. We'll see if I got enough working internet to get at least this part of the stream done. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. It's been fine all day today. I have not had any internet issues, and all of a sudden, of course, when I go stream, we're not even loading down the line that much. We're streaming out like 4 megabits per second. We have a 45 up. But, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and vote. I'm going to vote for mine. I'm not telling you guys who I voted for. Krista, I need you to share that form with me if you haven't already so I can actually see the results. I just realized that. I'm going to go check my Microsoft Forms and see if I can see it in my Microsoft Forms page here. All right. Let's see. All right. Shut down my BitTorrent. Oh, what year is it? What year is it? I have All right. Am I back? I turned the Comcast back on. I think we're going to have to cut this short. Krista, though, I need you to share that form with me so I can see the results. I'm not seeing it in my my forms. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're going to just go ahead and ask the questions. I will save them, and I guess we'll fire up, maybe try another couple hours. Let's see if Comcast is going to play nice. In the meantime, here's the link again for the form if you guys want to vote on who's going to be the winner. If the stream will not run, I don't know if it's YouTube. Is YouTube reporting any outages? Let's see. Was it down detector? Let's see. Is it YouTube or my internet? I'm looking here. I don't see anything out of the norm with YouTube. It's probably internet. Go figure. Oh, while we're waiting for the while we're waiting to get the responses, I'm gonna set a timer here for 30 seconds. So I'm looking at my watch here. So 30 seconds, we're gonna look at the results. And then Krista, in 30 seconds, send me those results. So we got 20 more seconds. But in the meantime, I will say we did get something in. Look what showed up today. Look at that. And just like that, OBS crashed right as I was showing you guys. We got the SV06 in today. So we will be doing firmware for that. I'm not going to waste my time trying to do a Ask Tim stream. Because it's clearly the internet's just crapping out. So I'm sorry about this. If I would have known the internet was going to be crap, I would have rescheduled the stream, but apparently it's only being angry at me under load. So yeah. So the SVO4, I had an SVO4. I gave it away. It was so bad. IDEX stuff is just rough. All right, let's see if I can pull up the form here, and then we're gonna get the results. So we got it here. All right, so we got 27 responses, and here we go. So we got 27 responses, and it looks like we're gonna have a tie for second and third between the Gingerbread Cult and Peter, and then it looks like Gabriel won over the Star Wars nerds. So Gabriel, Gabriel, you're the first place. How are we gonna settle Peter and Stevens? Should we just do Wheel of Names? Let's do that. So Wheel of Names, decide who's first and who's second. How's that? Let's see. All right, you guys ready? You ready to see? All right, we're going to hit it. We're going to click the spin. All right. Oh, that was so close. I thought it was going to stop on Peter. But Steven, you're the second place. And then Peter, you're in third place. But you guys know you guys are tied, okay? You guys tied in the voting here. So I mean, Gabriel, your tree was phenomenal. I'm sorry about the internet issues. I'm seeing a lot of dropped packets. I'm looking at my firewall here, and basically both of my connections are reporting just absolute crap right now. the whole goal of us having a Comcast and a T-Mobile 5G home internet backup is so we could have at least one working internet line, but I don't know if maybe there's some infrastructure issues happening here, but I really don't feel like dealing with these dropouts and stuff when we're trying to do a stream. Like, it's just going to be a bad time for all involved. So I do have your guys' questions that you asked. I'm going to leave them in my question file here. And then I'm going to go reboot all of our equipment and see if that does anything any better. So I'll probably pop on like a test stream or something, and we'll see. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet connections, but my Unify is showing like the internet quality is just garbage right now. So I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, and like leading up because it does have like an internet quality report here, it's not looking good. So I guess I was fine just doing normal day-to-day stuff on the Comcast connection. But yeah, it just started just hemorrhaging when I started streaming. That's so weird. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead. I have your guys' questions that you asked. I'm going to do another stream later tonight. I'm going to go reset all of our equipment and make sure it's not my problem. I doubt it, but, you know, they're going to ask me when I call, did you reboot your modem? Is it your wireless? I love when you get the questions. They're trying to be like, it's your Wi-Fi. It's like, I literally have like 7 access points on the property. It's not my Wi-Fi. And plus, this computer's hardwired all the way back. So we'll see. I'm going to leave the stream active, and I'm going to reboot everything. So, I don't know, check back in like 15-20 minutes or something like that, hopefully restarting it. So sorry about all the technical difficulties, but we're going to see what's going on. Hopefully I can figure out what's happening, and we will do a stream today with the Ask Tim. Yeah, so I'm gonna go reboot all our equipment. I will see you guys later, hopefully if the internet cooperates. Thanks for dealing with the crappy tech issues. I'm going to see if everything's reconnected. Can you guys hear me? I guess, so there is some weird thing. If you guys ever look in your, cable modem, you will see, what's what I'm looking for? Like the power levels and everything, and the corrected and uncorrected. The weird thing is, the power levels, which usually sit around 0, I think it's dB or dBm. I'm not sure what the actual abbreviation is. They're supposed to be like basically close to 0, and they're showing like 5 to 6, which is unusual. So they're running a little hot. I don't know why. I just remember that when we've had issues with the connection being unstable, the problem wasn't apparent, like what problem it actually was, but one of the like indicators was the power levels on the channel. So like it's dBmV, so I don't know what that is abbreviated for. Let me search what dBmV is. Decibels related to millivolts, dBmV, and usually we sit about 0. The tech told us we want to be right around 0, and we're sitting at, on the lowest is like 4.8, and we're at almost 6 on some of them. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on with the modem here, but we're just going to see what's going on. I'm going to check and see what my latency is looking like on the router side, because our router does track that. So I'm wondering if either the reboot fixed it, or if we're just having line issues. If that's the case, then we're kind of SOL. So I'm looking here, latency right now. We were getting up to 72 milliseconds, it looked like, was the average, and now we're back down to 10 to 11. So I don't know if they fixed something during the time I rebooted, or if something was going on with my Unify router and that was a problem, but it's looking better, at least from a from my end, what I can see. So all right. How is the stream looking for you guys? If you guys are having issues, reload the stream and see if that fixes it. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. But I do have questions in the queue here. We're going to try to get through a couple of them. But yeah. All right. Let's see what questions we have here. So the first question I have in the chat is from Anthony. And he said he's got an Ender 3 V2 with a 427. When doing a filament change after purging and continuing the layer, it retracts about 1.5 millimeter and does not push it back. So no film is coming out for a layer. Let's see. So it retracts at 1.5 and it doesn't push it back. So normally when you do a filament change, what I do anyways is, you know, your printer will tell you it's out of filament, okay? Or if you're running through a manual one, it will go ahead and like push out a little bit and then retract. Now the retract setting depends on the printer firmware. Now on our firmware, if you're using it, it'll retract, I think about 100 millimeters. So basically you pull the old filament out, you put the new filament in, and I will usually manually push it all the way in until I start seeing it come out the nozzle. So as soon as I start seeing it come out the nozzle, I'll go ahead and tell it to go ahead and resume. It'll usually then purge out more. And that's the key, is when you're doing a filament change, you want to see the filament purging out of the end of the nozzle. If you don't see it purging out of the end of the nozzle, then you're going to want to push it in till you see it come out the nozzle and then let the filament change go. So on our firmware and on most firmwares with Marlin, the procedure will be to have it do a purge, and it'll start purging, and it'll ask you, do you want to purge more or continue? And if you don't see anything coming out of the nozzle, or it just started coming out, I usually will do a purge more. Again, if I know that the filament is not quite at the nozzle, I'll then, you know, manually press the lever on the printer, feed the filament in until I see it coming out. Now typically I'll want to purge about 100 millimeters out of filament, especially if I'm doing a color change. So it purges fine, it just does the retraction event. So it's supposed to retract a tiny bit, but not that much. So it's supposed to basically finish the filament change up. It'll do like a little retract, and then when it goes back to resume printing, it'll push that same amount back out. I can't remember what setting that is, but that is the default, and I've never had issues with that. So it might sound like it's not being purged out enough. So yeah, that'd be hard to say, because I haven't had that issue. We use the filament sensors on all of our printers, and the filament sensors on all of our printers, and we use our same firmware, which does exactly what I would expect it to do. So now if you're running Creality's stock firmware on there, which I don't know if you would be, given it's a 427, it would be kind of a pain to figure out if you're using their stock one. But if you're using ours, it should do a little retract when it goes to resume the print, and then push it back out, and then it'll resume the standard G code. So, but the other thing too is, if any filament oozes out between the travel, you might get a tiny gap in the resume. It's never going to be like perfectly seamless, if that makes sense. So, all right. Let me see here. All right. 3D Experiment says, did you check the power levels? Did you check the power levels for on the stepper drivers to Ender 7 for the problem? Is that screw adjustable on the board? I can't right now. I believe they're all set digitally, because those Trinamic drivers that are on there, you can hook them up to an SPI interface and talk to them and set different variables. They actually have a tool that gives you the hexadecimal values to change different values on those drivers. So I was going to look at that and seeing if I could like hook it up to an Arduino Uno or an ESP or something like that to talk to it on my computer to reprogram it and even read to see what the current configuration is. One at print, it says, any plans to produce a board with more than 4 drivers or removable drivers? Right now, because because of the economy and because of the cost of developing a board and the part availabilities are still all over the place, we're not looking at producing any new boards, just because we could put a ton of work into it and then not be able to produce them, or if we can produce them, they're going to be very costly. We're having enough problems just trying to keep our easy boards that we have out now moving, let alone trying to design a whole new one. Let's see. JT is asking, have we thought about working with precise printer parts? They make 0.1 millimeter flatbeds along 0.1 millimeter flat beds along with beds with embedded magnets. They also send memes with your order if you ask. I have not heard of them, but I don't know how many people would actually be willing to spend hundreds of dollars on just a bed. Because like it will get expensive. Flat beds are expensive. That's just how they are. I'm going to see here. I see Brian, you asked a question, but you forgot to put a space after the Q, so the bot's not going to pick that up. There we go. But yeah, I've never heard of Precise printer parts. I'll have to look them up. All right. Scott Lemke says, can you use the beta firmware with the easy firmware tool? No, you cannot. It's only for the release one. Just because we can't have it compile. So the firmware site, the easy firmware site uses on the back end the same code. So I can only have one version of the code loaded into it at one time. So right now that's the release one. And I see you said the firmware tool isn't loading. Yeah, that's because the internet connection. So that's actually hosted here. So if our Comcast is down, the easy firmware site does go down. So, yep. Does crimping, Jay Trower says, does crimping ever become fun? Does it get better? The answer to both of those is no. By better, I mean you might not care as much. But no, it doesn't ever get fun. I've never had fun. I've never had fun making those. Let's see. Also, Angel said, I upgraded my CR10S Pro with your TS3 LCD upgrade. No matter what I flash, it will not work. Any ideas? I'm not sure what you mean by it will not work. Like, are you getting error codes? Is the firmware flashing? Did you install the bypass board? Because the bypass board, or not the bypass board, the adapter board, I think we call it the adapter board, that little red board that comes in the kit, you have to have that. You can't just plug an LCD into the board. You have to have the LCD with our adapter board, and everything's got to be installed the correct direction. So there's actually guides on the product page, if I recall correctly. Let me see here. I know it's on our help center, but I think I put some stuff on the actual, yeah, it's on the product page. So if we look here, this is the product page for the LCD kit, and you have to have the LCD adapter in the correct orientation. So this has to be on the EXP1 header of the LCD in this exact orientation, regardless of what the keyed positions are on the LCD. It has to be in this physical orientation. And then the stock 6-pin connector from your touchscreen gets plugged into here. And then these get the plugs that go to your motherboard. So you can see here we have, like, don't put it this way, it has to go this way. So this has to be in the correct orientation. And then you have the LCD cable. So you have one that goes from EXP1 on the adapter board to EXP1 on the printer board. And then the same thing for 2, that goes right into the display and then over to here. So what this does here, and what this adapter cable does, it actually puts 2 data lines that are needed to use the LCD onto the header here so it communicates correctly. Because Creality did not put those through on that board. That's why we have to have that adapter board. The other thing I see people doing is they don't orient the cables correctly. And there's a guide in our help center about orienting the 128/64 LCD screen cables. They have to be the same direction, and the stripe end of the cable has to be in the same orientation. So if we see here 128/64 LCD screen lighting up, this one right here, this goes over that. So basically, if it's not lighting up, you flip them at one end here, and this is on the LCD end. This would still apply. Just imagine that little adapter board's there. And if you flip one of the cables, you have to flip both of them. This is just talking about the cables here. There's also another article talking about the correct and incorrect way to put the cables, and this talks about the red stripe and the directionality of the cable. So basically the TLDR is make sure they're going the same direction, make sure the stripe is on the same side, so either they're both on the left or both on the right. And in your case, since you have the CR10S Pro, make sure your adapter board is in there as well. So if that adapter board's not in there, you're not going to get any output on your screen. So yeah, if you do have the adapter board on there, I'm looking to see if you posted anything else in here. If you're still even in here, I think we lost some people when we were dealing with the issues. If you do still have issues and everything is correctly connected, send pictures to our support team. They'll be able to verify your install. Then maybe you have a defective adapter board and we can send you a new one out, but we won't know unless we get some pictures and go through those steps. All right. Let's see. I think we had, yeah, if you guys put anything after the Q, the bot will not pick it up. I see this is the second person that's done that. So I see someone put a period after that. It has to be just exclamation point Q and then space, whatever you want to ask. Brian Simon says, I cannot connect to Octopi. I could the first time I tried, but not on the second time. I was a Raspberry Pi Model B Plus. If that's an original Model B, like one of the OG ones, that's going to be too slow to run Octoprint. I couldn't tell you without seeing it to tell you why it's not connecting. I would reboot your router because it's going to get a DHCP address from your router, but it could just be that maybe your install is corrupted. If you accidentally pulled the power off your Pi, those are actual computers, even though they're little tiny boards. So if you have an unsafe shutdown, it could corrupt the file system. So that's another thing to be on the lookout for. So if you guys are running Octoprint or, even if you're running Clipper and stuff, make sure you guys properly shut down the device through the web interface, because otherwise it's basically like cold shutting your computer off. You run a risk of corrupting things. So Peter Anderson says, just out of curiosity, do you submit patches to the Marlin source code? Yes, we do. I actually just fixed some compile issues, because if you download Marlin 2.1.2 directly from their site and you try to compile for our Easy board, it doesn't work because they added some code into the pins files and it broke things. So I had to fix that. Yeah. So there's that. 3D experiments. Did my bot pick you up? There it goes. I was waiting to see that. Okay. Lilo Man said, I want to get a carbon fiber. What kind of heated bed do you need? You just need a normal heated bed. Depending on what you're mixing with the carbon fiber, like if you're doing a PETG or an ABS or a PLA, that's going to really determine your bed temperature. The most important thing for printing carbon fiber is having a wear-resistant nozzle, because carbon fiber filaments will just chew up a brass nozzle really fast. So your options for nozzles, if you want a budget option, but it can introduce a little more string and require you to bump your temps up, would be like a steel nozzle. Those are the most cost-effective ones. We have those. They're anywhere from $3 to $5. But if you want something that's a good all-around nozzle that'll also stand up to abrasives, we have our Easy Flow nozzles, which are a copper nozzle that has a like nickel type plating on there that is very hard and wear resistant, and it also makes filament harder to stick to the nozzle, so they stay cleaner. But typically, like, I do all my carbon fiber prints with our Easy Flow nozzles. They're a great nozzle where you don't have to worry about any temp changes in terms of like having to bump the temp up to compensate for a steel nozzle. But if you're just doing occasional printing and don't feel like spending $15 on a nozzle, then the steel ones are just a fine, cheap option. But if you put it through a brass nozzle, that 0.4 will quickly grow in size as you print through it. So, but yeah. All right, let's see. Okay. Bean says, what's the process of installing an SKR mini board in SVO3? The mini board should be a drop-in replacement. You would just have to do the firmware. We don't have any firmware for that, so you'd be on your own with that. I don't know if people would even be interested in us doing an SVO3 build. We do have, if you're looking for a new board, if you haven't purchased the SKR one already, we have our Easy Board V2, which does support the SVO3. We have firmware for it, and we also have technical support, which you're not going to get that from Big Tree Tech. You don't even get firmware that works most of the time from Big Tree Tech. So we also put out firmware for the Big Tree Tech boards because ours actually works. But we don't have a preset up, like drop the board in and flash it type thing for the SVO3 for the SKR boards. We do have them for I think the 427 and definitely for our Easy Board V2. Let's see. Third experience says, for a warped heated bed, can I just replace it with a sheet of glass with a heater pad? I mean, you could, but given as that's what the TiVo Tornado had, I would not recommend it. I would try to find a a new aluminum bed and just get a silicone heater and slap it on the bottom of that. If your bed is warped that badly, that's just me. I mean, yeah, you could put a piece of glass if you had a way to mount it with a heating pad on there, but in my experience, it's been a pain to do that because it's glass. It's more prone to getting broke. You drop something on it, you drop your scraper or something, you could shatter it. I wouldn't personally do that. But yes, it is possible, but I would probably go the route of trying to find a new bed, even if it's just a, aluminum plate and you got to stick a heater on it. That's what I would do if I was replacing a bed. I would find a new aluminum bed, and if it doesn't have a heater built into it, go with like a silicone one. So, all right. Brian Sadwin says, I'm setting up Octoprint on a Raspberry Pi 3 Plus. Oh, this is the same question. Basically, got to come up once and never again. I would probably try to reflash it. Good. The 3B Plus is fine, even a 3B. But yeah, I thought your original question said a Pi B Plus or a Pi Revision B, which I think is like one of the original ones. They're so old. David asking about restocking the D1 Mini and DHT22. Those are supposed to be stocked. I'm going to ping the team and find out why those are not stocked, but we have them here. Let me see. But I'll get those stocked on the site later tonight if they don't get a chance to do it before they head out, because it is 5 o'clock here. I don't know why they're not stocked to begin with. They have them out there. So, all right. Let's see. Peter's asking, am I blind or does the 8mm easy ABL like the adjustment screw? I've only used the 18. The 8mm is a fixed detection distance, so it does not have an adjustment screw. That was one of the things we had to change to make a probe that small, was to get rid of the adjustment screw, because the actual potentiometer to put in there is just big. So in order to do that, we had to make it a fixed distance. So 3D Experiment said, did you see Tronxy actually open source their firmware? I did not. I did not. If you're in our Discord server, which you should be, I know you're a regular here, post it up in there. I'd be really curious to see, because that was one of the reasons, other than the fact that their printers typically are kind of crappy, that I haven't been touching them. So, all right. Compression 08 says, what are your thoughts on belted Z mods for the 5 Plus? So I don't think they're necessary. They aren't going to hurt anything as long as they're done correctly. But you are introducing another like variable and things that could go wrong, because like with the belted Z, if you don't have a way to have it like a Z brake so it doesn't just drop down when the motors are off, I wouldn't, I personally wouldn't mess with it. My 5 Plus is behind me, still has the lead screws on it, still have no issues. But no, I mean, belted Z on any printer, as long as the conversion's done right and you set your firmware up to accept the new steps per millimeter, should be fine. I don't really see the point of it, but it's your printer, mod it. All right. Backwoods Tinkerer says, will you be getting for free and reviewing the Bamboo P1P like every other YouTube on the planet? They have not reached out to us. I mean, I'd take a look at it. I don't know if they didn't reach out to us because they know that, I'd be brutally honest. I really have no interest in those printers. Those are more just kind of like, printers for people who don't want to mess with their printer, which there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I don't have any plans to buy one. I'm going to stick with our open source hackable printers, that we like to mess with here. So, the D1 Minis and DHT22s are getting stocked in a second here. Hang on. All right. Lost Finish, I sent a picture, helped us. They said you were right. with the install, I also reinstalled the original LCD. Still the same issue after flashing the original flash. So it sounds like if the stock LCD is also not working, you might have a problem with the actual board, which would be not impossible, but I don't say there's any reliability issues with those, because we still have our Stereo 10S Pro and it still works great. But it could just be that your board has a problem. If your stock LCD doesn't work and you've reflashed the board back to the stock, it could be an issue with the board. At that point, I would probably say, like, if it was my printer and even going back to the stock firmware with the stock LCD, if it still wasn't working, I would assume it's probably something wrong with the board. Or now that I think about it, it could be the cable that goes from the board on that 6-pin cable, that black ribbon cable that goes to the stock LCD. It could be that cable is defective. I would look at the pins, because the LCD conversion kit relies on that cable working. And if your stock LCD also is not working, I would say it's probably that cable. Now, I have, that's a JST XH. So that's a JST XH, and we do sell these kits in our shop here. And you could crimp on a new end. If that was my printer, I had that here, someone brought it to me, they're like, neither LCD works. I would probably cut the ends off and crimp new cables on. So these are JST XHs. I would probably put new ends on them, to be honest, if you can't like clearly see a problem, because what could be happening is you have a wire that's not crimped fully on one of the ends and it's not making contact. That's what I would probably do, is just replace the ends on that cable. Just do both of them. All right, we're going to wrap this up here. I got the questions in the queue, so any other questions, or I'm cutting them off right now. So, all right. The internet connection is not showing 100% stable, but it looks like it's working. It looks like it's working well enough to stream, so I'll take it. Oh, we have more spammers here. Oh, fill life with emotions, find love. Yeah, you're gonna get a ban. No one's gonna go to your scammy site. All right, how do you join our Discord server? Go to discord.th3dstudio.com, and that's open for everybody. All right, let's see. We already pulled the giveaway on the 28th. I actually just said that out now that I remember. All right. Any ETA for the NeoPixels for the Ender 7? I have an ugly IKEA lamp. The Ender 7, I don't know. Oh, we were talking about doing a mount. I have not had time to make a mount, but that board does have the same I/O pins by the LCD header that the other boards do. So there's two. But yeah, I'll be doing the documentation on that. I just have had a lot of stuff going on. I hate the holidays, honestly. Like, I shouldn't say hate them, but I do kind of hate them because they throw off my schedule. Like, instead of being able to, keep working on things, I have to constantly defer things and move things around because, like, it's just a pain in the ass. So, all right. Anyways, let's see. SVO4. Am I thinking of the SVO2? Hang on. You said the SVO4 IDEX. Was there an SVO2? Do they still save the dual color? Oh, I'm thinking of the SVO2. I had the SVO2 and I gave it away. It was bad. I have not messed with the SVO4, so I take that back. The SVO2 is the one I had, and it was kind of a hot mess. It reminded me of the CR, the CRX, and god damn, these goddamn bots. YouTube spends all this time censoring people, yet they can't mitigate spam. Go figure. Anyways, yeah, so the SVO2 is the one that I had that was crap. Backwoods, I don't see your question. It wasn't in the bot. But anyways, Printed Division's asking, how's our Pi alternative board coming along? Still working great. I just want to get some more time on it before we start selling it to people. So yeah. Does the Easy Flow mount work on the Ender 5 down to testing? What is the Easy Flow mount? I have no idea. The hell is an easy flow mount? It's not something I made. When I look up easy flow, it comes up with a plumbing company. What is that? I have no idea. But anyways, I'm sorry about this absolute shit show of a stream. Thanks to brought to you by Comcast and their terrible service. At least we're getting a stable enough connection. The bitrate is dropping, but I'll take dropping bitrate over it completely dropping the connection any day. So anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate all the questions. We do these every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Maybe I'll move them because Comcast always seems to like having service issues at 4 p.m. Central Time for some godforsaken reason. Yeah. Anyways, where was Awesome Angel? If you're in Discord, post your ticket number in the live stream chat and I'll look in it. But I would suspect if it's not the cable, then it's the board. The fact that your stock LCD and the new one is not working. That would seem like it might be a problem with the actual cable, because both those LCDs need that cable to work. So if the cable's not working, but we do sell JST-XH crimping kits if you wanted to put a new one on. They're not that hard to crimp. It's just they're tedious. So, what board was I talking about? I haven't heard that. Oh, we're playing with these rock boards. I can't remember the exact model number. The box is somewhere around here. But we're basically going back to the beginning and doing our own custom Octoprint kit that doesn't use the standard Pi image. So anyways, the tough extruder mount for the Ender 5. The tough extruder V2 can just mount right up on the Ender 5 if memory serves correctly. But if you're talking about the multi-mount, we also have a multi-mount adapter that puts it as direct drive as well. So, but the tough extruder V2 can bolt right up onto the Ender 5. So, all right, I'll take this last one here. Have I ever run, 3 Experience says, have I ever run your steppers at greater than 32 microsteps? It's supposed to be smoother and more quiet and maybe less vibration. So I have, and I did not notice a single difference. I actually had more issues with print quality. I had more issues with print quality running at a higher microstepping than just running at 1/16 and letting the Trinamic drivers do interpolation. I did have like the DRV 8825s. You guys remember those old chips? I think those were made by Toshiba, if memory serves correct, but those were a 1/32 native stepping. And those had all sorts of weird issues with salmon skin. But that was before Trinamics really came onto the scene. But I don't think there's any issues there. So Angel, thank you. I got your ticket number. I'll take a look at that as soon as I get off here. See if there's anything I can see. But I would suspect, just on the information you've given me, I would suspect that it might be an issue with the cable. The fact that the stock LCD doesn't work as well, and like fixing that cable. I don't know if you're in the US or not. If you wanted to send me the cable, I could recrimp it and send it back to you. So I'm looking here. It looks like you're in Illinois, so you're not that far from me. So anyways, I got your ticket open. I'll follow up with you after the stream. So anyways, I will I'll wrap this stream up. I don't have any treats to give the dog. I don't think I have anything. They ate all the treats. He's looking at me. I feel so guilty. Let me see if there's anything in his box. Is there anything in your box? We have no treats? What? What is this? What is this? We have no treats for Remo? Oh no. We're gonna have to get more treats for you. Come here. Come here. Yeah, your little brother's in his cage because he was being a psychopath. What? Oh! The big buddy's here, and we were a good boy. So we'll get him some treats when we go into house. How's that? Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. So anyways, I'll get some more treats in the office for next stream so I can actually give him some. But they finished all the chicken jerky the other day. Yeah, you ate all the chicken jerky. So... all right, what a hell of a stream to start off the new year. Let's hope 2023 is better than the last however many years, dear God, because I cannot have any more repeats of 2020 like the last 2 years have been. Anyways, I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around through all the technical issues, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, happy printing.